I was headed home after 3 days on the road, the kind of road trip you take to clear your head and end up filling it with more thoughts than you left with. The highway was empty, stretching for miles through the backcountry, where the only light came from my Tesla's headlights carving through the dark. It was a moonless night, the kind where the sky feels heavier than the earth, pressing down on everything. The air was still, and the shadows along the roadside looked like they'd been painted there, unmoving, waiting. I'd been cruising in silence for nearly an hour when I glanced down at the dashboard. 14% battery. The navigation told me the nearest charging station was 32 miles away. My range? 28. A slow knot formed in my stomach. Out here, the towns are few, the stations fewer, and the cell service unreliable at best. The thought of the car dying in the middle of this empty road made the night feel even darker. I told myself I'd make it. But every mile I drove, that confidence felt a little more like hope. The battery ticked down to 12%. I eased off the accelerator, keeping my speed steady to conserve energy. The Tesla purred along, smooth as ever, but the silence outside felt thicker now. Every time I glanced at the dash, the numbers seemed to drop faster than they should. The road narrowed, winding through a corridor of tall pines. Their branches leaned over the asphalt, blotting out what little sky I could see. Somewhere deep in those trees, an owl called, long, low, and distant. Then, up ahead, a faint glow. Relief washed over me. Maybe it was a 24-hour diner with a charger. Maybe a small-town plaza. Anything with an outlet. I sped up slightly, my eyes fixed on that light. As I drew closer, I realized it wasn't the crisp, white-blue glow of a charging station. This was warmer, flickering, almost like firelight. It turned out to be an old roadside motel, the kind you see in black and white photographs. The neon sign out front buzzed faintly, half its letters dead. Instead of vacancy, it read VACNY. The parking lot was mostly empty. A single pickup truck sat near the far end, its paint faded, one headlight missing. I pulled in, gravel crunching beneath the tires. My range was now 3 miles. A dim bulb glowed above the office door. Behind the glass, a shadow moved, slow, deliberate. The door opened before I could knock. An older man stepped out. He was tall and wiry, wearing a flannel shirt despite the warm night. His eyes went straight to the car, then back to my face, like he was measuring something I couldn't quite name. "Need a room?" he asked. His voice was calm, with no facial expression. I shook my head. "Actually, I'm almost out of charge. Do you have any kind of outlet I could use?" He didn't answer right away, just kept looking at me for a few long seconds before saying, "Got one in the back. Not fast, but it'll get you somewhere." He led me around to a small concrete pad lit by a buzzing floodlight. There, against the wall, was an outdoor outlet. I plugged in my cable and checked the display. Slow charging. Nearly an hour to get enough range for the next real station. The man didn't leave. He stood there in the same spot, hands deep in his pockets, watching the charging screen as if the numbers meant something only to him. "Not many folks drive through here at night," he said. "Guess not," I replied. "You alone?" "Just me," I said evenly. We stood in silence except for the hum of the charger. The numbers crawled up. 4 miles, 5 miles, 6 miles of range. Every now and then, I'd glance at him, and every time, he was already looking at me. Then he muttered, "I'll be right back," and turned toward the motel. His steps were slow, deliberate, the sound of his boots on gravel fading as he reached the door. He opened it and stepped inside, the dim light swallowing him. That was my cue. I unplugged, coiled the cable, and got into the car. When I backed out, the office door was still closed. The battery read 12 miles of range, enough to make it. I merged back onto the highway and didn't look back. I don't know what he was going in for, but I'm glad I didn't stay to find out. You ever get a random text from a number you don't recognize? Most of the time, it's nothing. A wrong number, a scammer, maybe some dumb group chat you got added to by mistake. That's what I thought this was. It was late. My laptop screen was the only light in the room. and the house was so quiet I could hear the soft hum of the router in the corner. I was half paying attention to the websites I was on. Nothing shady, just random browsing. When my phone buzzed on the desk beside me, I glanced at the screen. Anonymous. I can see you. I stared at it for a few seconds, expecting another message right away, but nothing came. I typed back, "Who is this?" The typing bubble appeared, then vanished, appeared again, and vanished. I set my phone down, convincing myself it was either a wrong number or one of my friends trying to freak me out. But the second text came 20 seconds later. Anonymous. Don't close your blinds. I froze. The blinds were closed. For some reason, that detail, them knowing about my blinds, sent a chill down my arms. I went to the window anyway, peeked through the slats. The street outside was empty. The air was still. When I got back to my desk, I told myself I was overreacting, but I didn't reply again. The next morning, I woke up to another message. This time, it wasn't words. It was a photo. It was my house, taken from outside. The angle was low, like the person had been crouching in the bushes beside the driveway. I zoomed in, and my stomach twisted when I saw my own bedroom window in the shot. I texted back, "Not funny. Who is this?" Nothing. That night, I stayed up late, half expecting another text. At 1:14 a.m., my phone buzzed. It was a video. I pressed play. The camera panned slowly across my bedroom while I was sleeping. My laptop sat open on the desk in the background, the little webcam light glowing faintly. The camera moved closer to my face, lingering like whoever was holding it wanted to make sure I understood. They'd been here. I tore apart my room looking for cameras, checked under the bed, inside the closet, every outlet, every corner. Nothing. I unplugged my laptop and put it in the closet. I decided to crash at my friend Megan's place for the night. Around 2 a.m., my phone buzzed again. Anonymous. I like your friend's place too. My blood went cold. Megan and I checked every door and window, but nothing looked out of place. By the next evening, I'd convinced myself it was a hacker. Maybe they'd gotten into my laptop somehow. I changed my passwords, turned on two-factor authentication, even put tape over the webcam. I went to bed feeling a little better, until my phone lit up in the dark. Anonymous. Nice try. Attached was another video, this time of me, earlier that evening, changing my passwords. I called the police the next morning. They took it seriously enough to send someone to look around, but there was no forced entry, nothing planted, nothing they could use as evidence. That night, I shut everything down. Laptop, phone, even my smart TV. I put them all in the closet and tried to sleep. But at 3:12 a.m., my phone buzzed from inside that closet. I got up, opened the door, and saw the screen glowing. The message said, "You really should be more careful about the websites you visit." The next day, I took everything, phone, laptop, router, to a tech security specialist. After running tests, he found malicious software on my devices that gave someone full access to my camera, microphone, and files. It hadn't come from an app. It had come from a website I'd visited, a site that had looked completely normal at the time. They'd been watching for weeks. Every photo, every video, every moment I'd thought was private wasn't. I replaced my router, wiped every device, changed every password, and started using security tools I'd never thought I needed. And I'll tell you what the specialist told me. If you don't secure your digital products and your network, you're basically leaving the door to your house wide open. Every webcam, every microphone, every connected device is a potential window into your life. And never assume a website is safe just because it looks legit. One bad click is all it takes for someone to move into your network without you even knowing it. Now, when I shut my blinds at night, I make sure my digital ones are shut too.